Welcome to Strengths Champion Solutions, where we help you grow stronger, work smarter, and lead wiser. Today, we're going to be talking about leading and working with your ideal calendar. Hi, I'm your host, Brent O'Bannon. And this week, during our Leadership Mastermind, one of the questions that one of the members asked was how they could maximize their calendar for more productivity. Now, if you're anything like me or anyone else as a leader, a business owner, business leader, or a people leader in your organization, or anyone just wanting to be more productive with your life and work, then today is going to help you. And I want to focus in on this ideal calendar methodology. And I will say, I've been using it myself for many, many years now. And what I'm going to share are three principles that have really helped me to play the long game, to be more productive over the long haul, and have plenty of margin and space in my life for freedom. So I hope this is helpful to you as we talk. And absolutely feel free if you want to interact and ask questions and engage in this episode. I would love for you to do that. So welcome to all of you. So the first thing is, I really want to encourage you to prioritize your top 5 work activities. Now, focus is my number one strength. And so being able to zoom out and zoom in is part of the superpower of focus. And so being able to prioritize 3 to 5 buckets in how your most important work can be arranged is really important. So I'll share a little bit of my process and how I've done that and see if it gives you ideas. I really like the metaphor of business like an airplane. And I also like my 5 buckets as applied to an airplane, to a jet. You can tell my focus, and my achiever wants to be focused to get from one destination to another destination without zigzagging too much. And so the jet is that metaphor. So when I divide up my own work activities as a business leader, first of all is the cockpit. The cockpit, or sometimes called the flight deck, is really where vision, where strategy, and what I call deep work happens. And this really is the most important work that I can spend time on as a business leader. So I have to create my own content. I have to study and prepare, writing books, writing articles, being able to learn and grow and stay ahead of the marketplace is part of being in that cockpit. And when you think about pilots, they have a checklist. There is important activity that has to happen every time to fly that airplane successfully. So that's my first bucket, is that deep work and that vision, strategy, and really content production. The second bucket for me is what I call my crew. So just like a jet has a dedicated crew that helps the pilots, that helps the travelers that are flying in the jet, I have my crew. So many of my team are subcontractors. And so I have to have ongoing communication and relationship with them. I have to manage as well as inspect the work that they do for me, whether it's my website, whether it's with my social media or technology, QuickBooks, all of these different parts, my systems, email marketing, my sales activities. So I hire a variety of subcontractors, and my crew is typically very small, only 3 to 5 people max. So I don't even have a vision of having a lot of people, but that crew is that dedicated. It's like a SWAT team that are really complementary to my weaknesses. So the areas that I don't want to learn, the areas that I'm not good, I hire or I barter with other people in those areas. So that's my crew. That's the second most important part of my work. Now, the third bucket for myself that helps me prioritize and really stay focused is my travelers. All of the people that are on that jet, these are my people. This is my tribe. These are my clients, my customers. And so when you think of the body of the jet, then really the crew and the customers who are the travelers on that jet. So spending time serving those customers, making sure the connection and the customer service and the follow-up, the coaching, and actually delivering keynotes, workshops, masterminding. So really, those are the three major services that we offer. So any kind of services or products that is considered part of the body. And it's a major part of the work that I do is delivering that service to my travelers. And then here's the fourth and the fifth, last two buckets. The fourth is maintenance. Yeah, there are things that need to be done, whether it is QuickBooks. Now, some of those things, yes, I've delegated, but some of those things I have to do, like email follow-up or using my calendar system to set up appointments. Obviously, in doing coaching, there's a lot of calendar work that you have to put your clients in scheduling, and instead of playing email, or telephone tag, then people can easily schedule themselves. And so it eliminates a lot of extra time going back and forth using my calendar system. But fixing certain areas in technology, making sure that checklists and routines, sending out a blog each week, doing a LinkedIn live. So these are all just things I call maintenance. And these are typically things like, it's like at home, taking out the trash or organizing or your closet or cleaning, your desk, organizing all of your client folders. And these are just what we call maintenance tasks. And so that is a major bucket of me as a leader. Now, here's my fifth and final bucket. And it might surprise you, but it's what I call my lifestyle bucket. The lifestyle bucket is really the fun, the family, the relationships, the adventure, the travel, my tennis, sports, my life with the Lord and going to church. These are all things that are part of my lifestyle. And so I'm in a lifestyle business. And so therefore that is a priority. And so I make sure that is a major bucket. So here's my challenge to you is how can you, for example, write down all of your work activities, as many as you can list out. If it's 30 or 40 or 50 work activities, the more specific, the more terrific. Write them out, then go back and start visualizing which of these activities could be grouped together. And be creative. if you have a certain hobby or there's something that you enjoy, maybe it's quilting or maybe it's painting or maybe it's a sport or something else, be creative and create your top 5 work buckets. Now, why this is important is because you're actually going to chunk these activities onto your ideal calendar. And this is the second principle I want to share with you today. And that is to chunk the activities into the ideal energy zones on your calendar. So, for example, I am a morning person. So I get up early, like today I got up at 4 o'clock. I love morning time. And I do my best cockpit and deep work and content creation early in the morning. So having my morning ritual and my morning routine, and then I go into study and prep and writing, and that's where ideas get written, is early in the morning. And if I tried to do that in the afternoon, oh my gosh, I would be terrible. So the afternoon is when I group other activities that take less brain power for me. So that's returning an email or sitting down at the computer for a few minutes, organizing things in my inbox or on my desk, things like that. So also chunk when your major meetings are. Like I have 3 different masterminds during the month. And so they are certain days, certain times, certain weeks in the month. So I go ahead and write those out into my calendar system, and they're saved in there. And so I chunk those activities because I know, okay, I do best group work, masterminding, training time during this time. I also group when I do individual coaching sessions during the week. I space those out and make sure I have margin. So instead of having, 2 people here and 7 the next day and 2 people here and 7 the next day. So what I've done is I have certain days like Tuesday, Thursday that are more dedicated to my coaching sessions, and a little bit on Friday morning. Okay. And also lifestyle activities, for example. And by the way, I like to color code all 5 of my buckets. So whatever your work activities are that you're chunking together, like I use green for my services and coaching and mastermind, anything that I'm delivering with a client, I use green because that's where cash flow comes, because that keeps me at top of mind that this is delivering and this is how I get paid for what I do. I use blue for lifestyle. And so you'll see on my ideal calendar a lot of blue, because I want plenty of margin and plenty of space in my life. I'm a coach and a trainer and have my own business. I don't want to work myself to death where I have a job. No, I want to have a lifestyle where I can work out and I can go have lunch with my grandkids and friends if I want to, or spend more time playing a little more tennis, or volunteering to help someone else during or another organization. I want that lifestyle. So that's my blue. So chunk your activities into ideal energy time. When do you do your best sales calls? When do you do your best social media posting? When do you do your best returning phone calls or scheduling what I call my Ask Brent Anything calls? When is best for you? Chunk those together so that you have a sustainable and more long-term routine. And so each week your brain starts getting wired that, oh yeah, during this time is when I do these activities. During this time is when I do those activities. So chunk those activities into your ideal energy zones. Now, here's the third and the last principle for today, and that is to write out and update your ideal calendar quarterly. Now, here's a quick example of my ideal calendar. So, again, I have taken Sunday through Saturday, a whole entire week, and I broken it down into 30-minute segments. So it literally, from the time that I get up in the morning, when I do business development, when I do breakfast, shower, when I do my workouts. So I put all of my personal on this ideal calendar just as well as my work activities. So, for example, when I know that I'm going to be having masterminds a certain day, certain week, every week, then those are in my ideal calendar. When I'm, for example, I have one on-site client that I go and do coaching for every Wednesday. So I have travel time. Actually, this is a physical on-site. So I'm traveling about an hour and a half. So during that time, I actually have travel / books / ABA, which is Ask Brent Anything call. So I can actually do an Ask Brent Anything call or listen to a podcast or listen to Audible while I'm traveling. I plan that into my commute. So when I have certain days for tennis, I know on Tuesday afternoons, typically that's when I play 3 to 5. Friday is typical a time, and then typically on Saturday and Sunday afternoon. So like church, I have church locked out. Not that I always go. Sometimes things happen. And that's the thing about an ideal calendar. An ideal calendar doesn't mean it's perfect. It does not mean it's going to happen the exact way you want it every week. However, it is a bullseye. It is a target of where you want to go. So ideally, when are you going to make social media posts? Ideally, when are you going to have team meetings? Ideally, when are you going to have sales calls? Ideally, when are you building on your business? Now, again, whatever industry you're in, taking your work activities and chunking them into no more than 5 buckets. If you can get it down to 3, even better. 3 to 5 buckets. Now, when you create this ideal calendar, you will need to update it because the winter time is going to be different than springtime or summer. And so I really recommend that you tweak and update quarterly according to your work and your life, because there are different stages that you're going to be going through. So all I'm here to say is that these 3 principles have really helped me in playing the long game and in being more productive and still loving what I do, making sure I have plenty of energy and fun. So if you don't hear the passion in me, I don't know what's going on with you, but I love what I do, and therefore, but I make sure that I have plenty of time doing what energizes me. So any questions or comments that you have, feel free to reach out to me at brent@brentobannon.com. And if you would like a complimentary copy of the Ideal Week template, if you go to my website at brentobannon.com, and you'll notice that resources at the top. And when you click on resources, we have 3 different toolkits. One is called a workplace toolkit. Download that complimentary toolkit, workplace toolkit, and you'll also have that ideal calendar template inside that toolkit, along with several other tools as well. So if you're in leadership, if you're a high potential that is growing yourself in the workplace, you're a manager, you're an executive, then this ideal week and this workplace toolkit will really be a blessing to you. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope to talk with you soon. And again, remember, you can reach out to me through an Ask Brent Anything complimentary call. You can schedule that on my website at brentobannon.com. So until next time, continue to grow stronger, work smarter, and lead wiser.